Message is still the same. So
You need to stand up and let
do?
people see your shirt.
Oh, okay.
I probably need to
Hold
stand
on.
up and let
Where'd it go?
people
Hold
see
on.
my shirt. Stand over there so the camera can see you. Cute. And then mine is a grumpy cat. Hearing will never.
I'm not a cat.
Oh, there's more.
Christmas this year. My hat's not doing anything.
It's doing some things.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Are we done with the bells? Man, the ears are ringing.
The 50 things that no longer mean anything to any of the current generations that mostly it was all from our old stuff.
that make
Asleep
sense?
at the switch. Railroads woke up to automation. Back to the drawing board. Now it's back to the computer. Beam me up, Scotty. Outdated futuristic Star Trek technology. Better dead than red. Then the Berlin Wall fell. Big cheese. Oversized grocery promotions were very impressive.
Big
What grocery
cheese.
promotions? We have food. Come get it.
Bring money.
Bring money.
Lots of
You know, though, I noticed in the last couple of weeks, I know inflation's back down to about 3%. It's almost nothing again, like it used to be. And our dog food went from $16 a bag to about 29 or so during the height of all this. It's back down to 18.
Nice.
And a couple of other things I noticed too have come way, 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 way back down. So,
Blueberries are so high.
well, blueberries are always high in the wintertime. So. Anyway, everybody all ready for Christmas? Okay. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of John Lennon and George Carlin. And John said, I believe that as soon as people want peace in the world, they can have it. Trouble is, they just don't want it enough. I said that one last week. This week is, you are not your emotions. You have emotions, and you can master them. And George, if Helen Keller had psychic ability, would she have a fourth sense? I don't know. Might be. Maybe. I may have to open this up. Oh, we have, we're starting a tradition for once a month celebrating birthdays. So in the kitchen we have...
Carol made an apple cake, and I made some gluten-free, sugar-free cranberry orange muffins. And they might be a little, who knows?
They'll be fine. They were fine last night.
They were.
Must be the official elf test taste.
Yes.
He is the official elf test taster.
There is a pleasure in the pathless woods. There is a rapture on the lonely shore. Byron. Better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt.
Yeah.
Abraham Lincoln. Trust men and they will be true to you. Trust them greatly and they will show themselves great.
Ooh.
I don't have enough room here. Imagine that.
Imagine that. You want to put some stuff over here?
Thank you. Fortune does not change men, it unmasks them. Success has made failures of many a man. Chance does nothing that has not been prepared beforehand. Probably true. Experts estimate, it'll be creepy. Experts estimate that there are more than 56 million rats in New York City, or roughly 7 rats for every person. That'll give you the creeps.
Why do I need to know all that?
I know.
We don't know why you needed to know that. I don't think we needed to know that.
I know. Oh, this was funny. In the fruitcake, I always wanted to be an ichthyologist when I was a kid. I mean, I was studying for it. It's the study of freshwater fish, basically. And I had fish. I bought my first fish tank. I was about 8 years old. Bought it in the University Village in Seattle. Walked all the way home to Wedgwood. It was like 4 or 5 miles, carrying this 5-gallon aquarium.
This is a clue how stubborn this man can be. A hint, even at the age 8.
Thank you. Anyway,
Just saying.
ichthyologists agree that fruitcake that has been drilled and or carved makes excellent aquarium decorations.
Ick. Be fruitful and multiply.
That's why they call it ichthyology.
I know.
Icky.
I know.
It's icky. Icky.
And 50 years later, 60 years later, still nobody knows what an ichthyologist is. Oh well, you do now.
Except now the whole internet and the church knows.
There you go.
Actually, these knock-knocks are not too bad. Knock-knock,
We reserve the right to.
Europe.
Europe, ooh.
What? No, Europoo. Knock-knock. Althea. Althea later, alligator. Knock-knock.
Who's there?
Dare.
Dare who?
Dare must be some mistake. Haha.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you. No, you don't have to. I know. You don't have to tell me. Heroin is the brand name of morphine once marketed by Bayer. Yep. Actually, 100 years ago. About 100 years ago, you could buy it in the store. So. Tourists visiting Iceland should know that tipping at a restaurant is considered an insult. Yeah. Albert Einstein was offered the presidency of Israel in 1952, but he declined, obviously. Astronauts can't belch. There is no gravity to separate the liquid from gas in their stomachs. Now there's a piece of something you never knew and didn't care to know.
What about the other direction?
I didn't even go there. Didn't even go there. Okay,
It's the shirt. It's the shirt. This is as merry as it gets, and it's a grumpy cat.
thank you,
I'm in the
Tammy.
roll.
Where's Tammy?
She's right
It's her
there.
fault.
It's her fault.
I thought they needed to be festive.
Absolutely.
festive.
Oh, and speaking of festive, you've seen the festive decor front. Thank you, Roy and Carol.
And family.
And
Thank
family.
you so much.
Yes.
There's not a square inch in this place that hasn't had some sparkly attention. We like it.
And I've told this
Have you
joke
seen- yeah, I've seen
before,
the front door.
but guess what? I got it in 2011. I've told it maybe 2 or 3 times. So some of you will notice it, recognize it. Others won't. Just before the church services started, the congregation were sitting in their pews and talking. Suddenly, Satan appeared at the front of the church. Everyone started screaming and running for the front entrance, trampling each other from a frantic effort to get away from the evil incarnate. Soon the church was empty except for one elderly gentleman who sat calmly in his pew without moving, seemingly oblivious to the fact that God's ultimate enemy was in his presence. So Satan walked up to the man and said, "Do you know who I am?" The man replied, "Well, yeah, sure I do." "Aren't you afraid of me?" "Nope, sure ain't," said the man. "Do you realize I can kill you with one word?" asked Satan. "Don't doubt it for a minute," returned the old man in just a nice even tone. "Did you know that I can cause you profound, horrifying agony for all eternity?" persisted Satan. "Yup," was his calm answer. "And you're still not afraid?" said Satan? Nope, said the old man. More than a little perturbed, Satan asked, well, why aren't you afraid of me? Man calmly replied, been married to your sister for 48 years.
Yeah. We got stuff going on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Carrie, flail your arm in the air. Carrie over here. She's going to do a workshop. It's called Living in the Light. What is your soul calling you to do? Ooh, that should be interesting.
Sweet fruitcake.
Join me for a 2-hour workshop to connect with your soul's purpose and ignite your passions. And it's inspired by the book, Light is the New Black. And the cost is $40. Are you done with that yet?
No.
The cost is $40, and you can talk to Carrie and more information to come.
There it is.
And there's sheets back there.
There's sign up sheets back there. Pretty.
Well, there's a huge flyer. Is it good, Phil?
It's not terrible. Oh, it's good until November of 28.
Oh, preserve it, dude. Heck in there.
Thank you.
This is the only time you'll hear me say this, Jill. Do not share.
Okay.
Do not share. No sharing will be allowed. Okay, the other thing going on is we have calendars that, could you have it over there? Calendar, the standy-uppy, three-folding
that
spiral
one.
thing.
That one. I was looking for a big regular calendar.
Yeah. Beth called
Beth.
some of the really cool sayings from the ancient ones. There's 3 volumes of ancient ones, and she's collected a bunch of their sayings, put them in this little book. Every day is a new day. And today is June 17th, and here's today's message. The truth is, a sacred and divine bridge connects you with your goals, hopes, and dreams. This bridge allows you... Oh, am I in the wrong day?
6 months.
I'm off.
It's the wrong month.
What does it allow us?
Oh, wait.
Yeah, we gotta
Now I gotta finish it. This bridge allows you to dream and dream big. Okay, so let me get to the right day. Please.
That was June 17th. Right day, wrong month.
December. Here we are, December 17th. Oh, this is actually a quote for me. Affirm. I cherish the spark of intent within me. Oh, there's a typo I didn't catch. Oh, well. Okay, well, we're ready to roll. I guess that's it. We have a guest speaker. Anyway, that's what it looks like. Huh? She's got a ball joke. Okay.
Jill, payback.
Payback for all the blonde jokes you've done.
Not a problem. Hey, Jan's
I'm
blonde.
not saying you're growing bald, but you'll find Waldo before you find your hairline.
Did you hear that? I'm not saying you're going bald, but you'll find Waldo before you find your hairline. Okay. So we have a guest speaker today. I am so excited to share her
You want some
with
fruitcake?
you.
No. I'll pass.
She's going to talk. Did you avalanche?
Yeah.
The avalanche. Oh, what we got going this week? There's the calendar there.
No.
Yeah, the bottom there was.
That table only had the angels on there this morning.
Yeah. Well, so I don't think there's anything going this week. Anyway, check your calendar, and there's
Christmas.
an online calendar.
Kind of. Pre-Christmas.
Emotion code is Tuesday. That's what I was trying to remember. It was moved because conflicting schedules. Anyway, so emotion code, and then I think drumming is Wednesday. So if you have drums, then you might want to come for that drumming thing. In the meantime, we have a guest speaker. I'm so excited to share with you, to have her share with you her insights. So give a big Divine Fellowship welcome to Paula Ramirez Prokopenko. Actually, I'll let you sit.
Good,
This.
Lauren.
Let's hook you up. Let me get this right.
Is anyone gonna do my hair and makeup?
Well, try that. See how that works.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? This actually sounds really nice with the mic. All right. So my name is Paula Ramirez. Just a little bit of background. I'm a first lieutenant for the Army National Guard. So I'll start off with giving you like my background, like things that I went through as a child up until now and what I've done to heal. And then we'll finish it off with a medicine mantra. So instead of a guided meditation, there'll be a medicine mantra. So background, there's 10 of us, 10 siblings, 5 sisters, 5 brothers. My mom separated from my dad. We were, I think I was like 5 or 6 around there. She got with my stepdad, who was very abusive, emotionally, mentally, physically, mentally abusive. So at the age of 13, I told my mom, I'm running away. Well, she saw me packing. She said, what are you doing? I'm running away. Why? Well, because, my stepdad's what he's doing, everything that he's doing, and he gets drunk and he gets doing all these drugs, and, he's not paying the bills. He's not helping us with anything. She said, well, you're not paying the bills either. So I left that night. I slept outside. It was like in some bushes, and then the bus came the next day. So I was like, okay, I got to get to school because I want to eat. So I jumped on the bus, went to school like that. And I told my friends, hey, I don't have anywhere to go. I need a place to stay. And they're like, yeah, my parents, they'll be fine with it. And I'm surprised no one called CPS or anything. But so I lived with certain people for like 3 months, and then another family for 3 months. I didn't want to stay too long just because I thought that, all men had the same, negative thoughts and all of that stuff. So, and the people loved me because I would cook and clean more than what their own kids did. And then I was in 9th grade going into 10th, and I was still in high school. And again, I was living different places, didn't have money for anything, like not much. So there was this program that the teacher gave me, and he's like, my daughter doesn't qualify for this, but I think you do, because he knew about, my situation. So it was to work for Bank of America. You would get $10,000 and you would work there. And I was like, okay, well, I'll apply. So I applied, filled it out, went to the office and turned it in. And the lady thought I was skipping. I was like, no, I'm turning in this paper to the office. She's like, well, let me see it. She looks at it. She's like, well, it looks like you're automatically going to get an interview because everyone will get an interview for this. So I'm like, what's an interview? I didn't even know what that was. She's like, well, they ask you questions and you just have to answer. I'm like, okay, I can do that. And then she looks up and down at me and says, you can't go dressed like that. I'm like, well, what do I wear? You have to wear a long skirt, a nice top, some nice heels. I was like, okay. So I asked different friends, hey, can I borrow this and that? Pretty much, I went to the interview looking like her because that's how she dressed. I recall it now. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I went to the interview, and I think there was 20 of us that applied for it. 2 weeks later, I get called into the office. They're like, you have a phone call. And I still remember it to this day. She's like, hi, Paula, this is Monica James from Bank of America. I want to let you know that you got the $10,000 and the job. And I was like, I didn't say anything. And she's like, hello, are you still there? I'm like, yeah, I've never gotten anything. Like, I don't even know. I don't even have clothes. Like, I'm homeless. She's like, oh, wow. And I go, I didn't want to tell you that because I didn't want you to give me the job because you felt sorry for me. She's like, do you want to know why I hired you? I'm like, yes. She's like, well, I asked everyone the same questions. One question in particular was, who do you admire and why? And some people said, oh, my mother, my grandfather, brother, aunt, sister. And I didn't have anyone that I looked up to. So when she asked me, I was very honest. And I said, God, because he gave his only son to save us from sin. And she was Christian, and she said, you're not supposed to talk about stuff like politics or religion or anything in an interview. I'm like, I didn't even know what an interview was. This is my first interview ever. So I was just being honest. I thought, yeah, I can answer questions. So that's why I got the job. That's the only reason why I got the job, was because of that. So I thought that was really cool. So like the struggles and everything, even though I didn't have a certain person to look up to, because I knew of the Bible and I knew of that, like that actually helped me progress. So it was meant to be. So anyway, I got the job, got the scholarship, ended up going to college. I didn't know what college was. I was in a classroom and I saw people were filling out packets. I'm like, what do you guys do? We're applying to college. For what? Well, it's an extra 4 years of school. Why would you do that? You get a better job and this and that. And I'm like, okay, well, who's applying to where? And so some people said WSU, some people said UW. And so I went with the majority. I didn't even know what I was doing. So I was like, okay, UW it is, because that's the majority. And I filled it out, and the deadline, I think, was like I had 1 day extra, turned it in. One of my friends proofread it. I mean, senior in a high school, I should have had like a teacher or someone. But, you know, I didn't know any better. And I got accepted. I was like, oh my gosh. So we both, you know, my friend and I became roommates and everything. Then I got pregnant for my daughter, Lily, came back, finished off at Heritage University. And then for the lack of time, I won't say everything, but yeah, I went through, you know, 2 different relationships long term. It didn't work out. I didn't know it was pretty much my childhood playing out. It's like, why isn't it working out for me? And there was at one point where my ex had said, okay, you know, because we were engaged, how are you going to help pay for the wedding? And I was like, well, maybe, you know, I can get my master's, I can finish, I can do that, or I can do singing classes because I like to sing. He's like, nope, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I'm like, okay, well, and then at the same time, I was having dreams of the military. It's like, you know what? I think I'm going to join the military. He's like, oh, no, that's like the worst thing you could do. And then at that point, I was like, I can't grow with you. Like, I can't. I need to do me. So I just decided I was going to join, and that caused a big separation. And but I kept, for me, I was like, okay, I'm having these recurring dreams. Maybe I need to join. So I ended up joining anyway. And during that time, I joined for officer school, which was really, really hard. So everyone goes through boot camp, which is already hard. You get yelled at, and it's like a 10-week program. And then I went to officer school, which is pretty much boot camp for officers. Oh my gosh, that was so challenging, very, very challenging. I found myself going to the barracks and crying, and I was the only one crying. I'm like, why am I crying? I know it's a test, I know they're yelling at me, but why does it hurt? And I would pray, and nothing would happen. So I went online, I was like, okay, what's more than just praying? And I found spirituality. And I found like, hey, you can ask for help, you can call the angels, you can do this. And I had a reading from someone who connects with the angels. Because I didn't believe in all the channeling and all that stuff. And that was the safest for me, because everyone believes in angels. So I was like, okay, I'll do this one. This one seems like safe and not of the devil, as I've been told. So that's what I did. And she's like, you know what, just open your heart, just let yourself and ask the angels. And then she said, you know, because I told her about my situation, my mom, you know, pretty much said, you're never going to amount to anything, you're going to be worthless, you might as well find a rich man to support you. So she's like, you're in need of motherly love. Why don't you call in the Virgin Mary, or Mother Mary? I was like, I don't believe in that. I'm not Catholic, I'm Christian. And she's like, just let go of what you thought of and just call her in. Because everyone is helping God, whether you believe it or not. Buddha, you know, Yogananda, Krishna, all of them. They're all helping God. It's just in different locations. So try to open your mind and call her in, because that's what you need, is motherly love. And I called her in, and oh my gosh, I've never felt so much love ever in my life. And I didn't see it, I could just feel it. And so that's when I knew everything was going to be okay when I would go to my trainings. And then spirituality again. And so I remember losing my CAT card. It's my military card. It's encoded and encrypted with a lot of things. So if you lose the card, you get kicked out of the program. And that's a 2-year program. So you would add another additional year. I didn't want to be in that program for 3 years. So I was like, okay, my friend said to ask angels for help. So I did. I just talked to them like I'm talking to you now. Angels, I need my CAT card. Please help me find it. Just like that. I really need it. I'm going to get kicked out. It's my only chance. I go back to the barracks, and it was on top of the fire extinguisher. I don't even go near that. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so then I told, you know, the group of guys that we were with outside, hey guys, ask the angels for help. And they kind of laughed at me, right? Then we had another test where we're going to have carry all of our equipment. It's like 60 pounds while doing a field exercise. So pretty much they do scenarios like if you get ambushed or anything, how do you react to it? But you're planning, but you're still carrying everything with you. Your helmet, your rifle, your 60-pound bag, and your food for the whole week. So it's it's really, really tough. So anyway, that weekend it's supposed to rain, 100% chance, and it was gonna be 25 to 30 degrees. Mind you, we can't wear anything warm because we were being tested to see, you know, if we can, pretty much mental challenge, see if we can withstand that. And they're like joking around, hey, why don't you ask your angels to at least, you know, make sure that it doesn't rain. And I was like, I will. It didn't rain, just in that area. I am not kidding, just in that area. All around us, it was raining. but not in the location that we were doing our training on. They're like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I did, you know, so it worked for me. And the first time I was like, okay, it's going to work. So that's what like spiraled me into like my growth. And every year I learned something else, something additional. And it, you know, back then what I knew served me then. But every year I just kept learning more and more and more until I was ready for it. I was matured to receive it and so forth. So that's what got me into that spirituality. But if I hadn't gone through that hardship, I don't know if I would have ever evolved. So the abuse to me that happened to me and my siblings, I thought I was the victim. I thought it was just me. Like, okay, why me? Why not everyone else? And I'm looking around like no one else is doing, you know, everyone has a good life except for us. And then as I evolved in my growth, I was like, wait a minute, that didn't happen to me. It happened to my vessel. It was just my body. It had nothing to do with my soul. My soul has experienced it because we are spiritual beings having a human experience, but it was just my vessel. Nothing happened to me. So, you know, changing our perspective of the things that happen to us is huge because you think it's you, but it's not you. You are not your physical vessel. You are spirit. We're all one. We're all connected. This is not what we look like. This is just our car. I saw you. She's like, what? So, you know, and it goes, I like to use that transformation like the butterfly effect, right? So a butterfly starts off as a caterpillar. And then it physically breaks down. The bones, everything is crushed. And then it becomes a butterfly. So when you're going through your hardest, most difficult things, you're going through a transformation, but you don't know it because you don't see the rest of it. You just have to go with the flow and let it happen. Again, you always have the choice, right? You can stay as a caterpillar, but you're going to get knocked down until you decide to transform. So it's the same way. And you don't realize like, okay, once I become a butterfly, I'm going to be free. So you have to go through that transformation. If not, you're going to stay there. You're going to be living as a caterpillar, not knowing that there's greater things. So you can't have a testimony without a test. You can't have a breakthrough without a breakdown. That's just how it works, right? We live in a world of duality. Sun, night, female, male, bad, good, cold, hot, all of that stuff. So it's just part of it. We just have to learn to see it differently. And I like to think of, because I remember Janice asked people questions, and some people asked, okay, how do I deal with depression? How do I deal with all of these things? Well, depression is really just you thinking about the past. You're just worried about something that happened in the past. Anxiety is you're worried about the future. Happiness is right now, this moment, this present moment. That's why it's called the present. So if you think about it, right now you're fine. You're healthy, you're fine, you're alive. You're going back into the past and bringing it to the now. You're going too far into the future and bringing it to the now. So you can never get anywhere because you're still holding on to all of that. So being into this now moment is where you have your breakthrough. But it's hard unless you know, go to all these workshops or you get help. But again, you have that choice whether you want to proceed, whether you want to grow or not. I have these little cards because I was like, there's so much I want to say and I don't want to miss a beat. Because if I do, I'm going to kick myself for it. I was telling Janice that this morning that I did 2 healings at work with using the drums. And I asked Daryl about, okay, how do you do it? How do you do this? Because I thought that was so powerful. And one of them is a major in the Army. They're the ones a first sergeant. Those are higher ranking than I am. And they allowed me to, and it was just really amazing. And I actually found healing in myself. But anyway, the major was telling me that she's going through all this stuff, and I was like, okay, like really, really hard stuff in her life. And I said, is there like a repetitive cycle? Did that happen to your mom, to your dad? She's like, yep, and it happened to them. And I was like, okay, well, it's really hard because you're gonna break the cycle. That's why. So when you find yourself in a tough situation, it's probably because you're gonna break the cycle. Again, it's your choice, but it's so hard. You know, generations have been doing it over and over and over and over again. You know, for example, for me, my mom was raped. I'm sure her mom was too. She doesn't talk about it. And then it just kept going down the cycle. So who's going to break it? Who's going to stop it? If I don't stop it, then my kids have to deal with it. So when do we break that cycle? That's why it's so hard. You have to be the one to break that cycle. No one else is going to do it. And if you don't, you're leaving the work for someone else. So it's something to think about, putting into perspective and having a different view of it. Okay, why is this so painful? Why do I have suicidal ideation? Why is it so tough? Well, it's because no one broke it. That's why it's so hard. But again, you always have a choice. You are always in control, even about the way you feel. Someone tells you, oh, you're wrong for this, or you're bad for this, or you're a sinner, or you're whatever. You still get to decide how you want to feel. You can either feel, you know what, that's okay, that's whatever you think, but I still love myself. You can still be happy regardless. Don't give your power away like that, because that is your power. Your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, how you react to someone else, pretty much that's hurt, right? That's why they're speaking to you that way, because they're hurt and they don't know any better. But you do, so you can be the love. You can bring the light into the darkness. That's why I continue to stay in the military. Yes, it's hard. And in an environment that's very corrupted, the light has to go through somehow. Someone has to do it. And it can start little by little. So a lot of people, oh, okay, you're a killer, you're this, you're that. I'm like, you don't even know me. So regardless, it's fine, right? Because we're going to have attacks in our daily lives, whether it's work related, whether it's our color, the color of our skin, sexual orientation, like all those stuff. We're going to be judged no matter what. So you might as well just be strong in yourself, be who you are, and shine the light regardless, because that's what they need. Fear is of the light. It just doesn't know that it's of the light. That's why it's called fear. But it is of the light. So anyone that has fear, you are of the light. So go back to where you were. Go back to the core, to who you are. I like to tell my soldiers, because there's a lot of them, but I like to tell them like the difference between empathy and sympathy. And the reason I say that is because we lack a lot of emotional intelligence. There's a lot of places, but specifically in the military. If someone's grandfather, I've seen this, someone's grandfather passed away, and one of the first sergeants said, oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, you need to get back in here. What the heck? No, this person needs time. Give him a day, something. So I didn't agree with that. So we need that emotional intelligence. So I use empathy and sympathy as an example. Empathy, we call it foxhole, but it can be a big hole. I'm in the hole with you. I'm down there with you. We're like, how are we going to get out of this? Right? We're both experiencing the same thing. Sympathy is one of us is in the hole and the other one's above and says, well, it sucks to suck. Like I feel bad for you, but I'm not in there with you. So going through those hard things that you are going through or that you've gone through gives you the ability to understand someone else. Otherwise you wouldn't. You wouldn't understand what it's like. I mean, even fathers like that I know in the military, I know what it is because my wife had a son or a daughter. And it's really awesome for them to understand that because they've gone through it versus those that haven't gone through it. They don't understand. So think about it that way as well. When you go through those difficult situations, you can understand someone else. And it's that ripple effect. You start to help them out as well. I share my story in front of the soldiers. I'll say, this happened, abuse, sexual abuse, everything. And we talked about it. And then afterwards, someone's like, can I talk to you? I'm like, yeah. And it was a male soldier. It's like, I've never told anyone this. I've never talked to my wife, no one, the chaplain that we have, no one. But I was raped as a boy. And it was really hard, and I had all this shame, and that's why I lashed out. But because you shared that you were also raped, I could talk to you because you understand me. So, and he didn't want to talk to anyone else. He didn't want to see a counselor. So we talked for a couple hours, and he's doing good. But, sometimes we need to talk about things that we've gone through so that everyone else doesn't think that they're the only ones. Because sometimes we think we're alone. Like, why is this happening to me? Why isn't that happening to them? I'll give you another example. I had a friend, and I was in high school, right? So that was like the hardest time of my life, because I didn't have a family to support me. she was going to get married. Her parents were paying for her wedding. And I was like, man, how did she get so lucky? What? That's not fair. Why won't I get that? It's not fair. Well, down the road, she ended up getting pregnant, had her baby, lost her baby. And I was like, wow, I judged her all this time. I would rather go through what I went through than to lose a child. See, so we shouldn't judge people based off what we see physically or what they have, because you don't know what they're going through, what they've gone through, or what they're about to go through. And sometimes it's worse than we think. You just never know. So instead of seeing people for what they physically have, what they look like, we need to see each other as souls. Not what they look like, not the age, no, because it's not who you are. You need to see people through their soul. How do you do that? It's just feeling, it's intuition. It's like when you walk into an area, at the store, or wherever you're at, you're like, okay, I'm gonna go this way. Well, why'd you go this way and not this way? Well, I just felt like I had to go this way. So trust your intuition, trust your energy with the people. Don't go based off of the physical, what they have. That doesn't mean anything. You come with nothing, you leave with nothing except your experiences. That's it. Everyone is a gift. We are each other's gift. If you have a child, he or she only lives to be 5, your gift was temporary. But wouldn't you prefer to have that gift for the 5 years and not have it at all? Same with spouses. Yes, it's tough, and then they leave. And then you're like, what the heck? What the heck, God? Like, why would you do this? It was your gift for 20, 40 years, whatever it was. Like, again, you come with nothing, you leave with nothing. Everyone is a temporary gift. Everyone is a teacher. They're teaching us good and bad, but what are you learning from it? How is that making you grow and evolve? Making sure I'm on the right path. All right. So what I've done, I'm going to give you guys some forgiveness tips because that helps heal as well. Forgiveness tips or just healing. So one of the first ones that I started doing when I worked at the high school, it's called the Ho'oponoponopo. It's a Hawaiian prayer. And I started looking into it and I was like, how am I going to help these kids? So I got a picture of one of the students that was going through a lot of things similar to what I did. And I talked to her, but she's living in that environment, so it's kind of hard. Like, how do you stay positive? How do you be the light when you are being abused in that time? So what I did was I took a picture from, I have access to the system, so I looked up her picture and I just looked at her and I said, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Pretty much like if I was the abuser, right? Because we're all one, so her pain is also my pain. So I started doing that. I did it for like 15 minutes. And then she came in and she's like, I feel so much better. Things are going better. I was like, wow, it works. So that prayer helps, with healing, understanding, connection with oneself, and like the truth of who you are. So doing that to yourself, doing that to whoever abused you, whoever hurt you, and just repeating that over and over until you feel like, okay, I'm good now. So it's, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And that's it. Do it until you feel good. And if you need to do it again the next day, do it the next day. But that's one good tip that I learned when I was in the high school. This was before the military. One thing that I did also, this was during officer school when I was going through, pretty much like breaking down, like, why is this happening to me? Because I buried all my pain and it was coming up, growing like weeds until I took care of it. So I wrote a letter to my stepdad. And I said, dear, put his name, this is what you did to me. And I wrote it down. It was really hard, tears and everything. This is how it made me feel. This is who I became. Thank you. And then I went outside and I burned it. And I burned it and I just felt like so much was lifted off of me. And that took me a while. When I found out about doing that, I want to say it was like 2 months prior, and I was like, no, there's no way I'm going to do that. But I kept thinking about it. Okay, I'm ready now. So it's whenever you're ready. And I did that, and I let it go, and that helped a lot. It released a lot. And another thing is finding yourself a group of people. So like in the scriptures, in the old scriptures, kings were very successful. Do you know why? No? They had a group of counsel, right? There was the person that was in charge of like war, specialty in war, specialty in finance, whatever, right? Personal affairs. So just a group of people that had expertise in a specific area. And the king would ask, okay, what do you suggest? What do you think? What do you think? And based off of all of that, the king would make his decision. And so they were very successful, and some ruled for hundreds of years because they had a group of people. So don't just sit in your pain alone. Talk to people, ask for help, go around. That's what's gonna make you stronger. This church has that already. We have Janice, she does healings, she does classes. I mean, the entire church does that. We have Carrie that, is taking clients, and now she's doing a new session. So that's another thing that you can opt in for, for whatever you feel guided to do, whatever resonates with you. We have Arita that does the head to heart after church. May does the healing circles. Daryl, aligns with his drumming, and I wish he was here because I want to thank him for showing me how to do that, because I was able to, help, and I'm starting to do that with soldiers, and this is pretty awesome. And then we have the motion code with Maria. So anything that has to do with healing, again, it's your choice. It's always been there. It's all around you, but you get to decide whether you want to stay in that foxhole or whether you want to start to climb out and you want to see the light, right? Because a seed grows in darkness. Okay, you bury me, but I'm just going to grow. And you'll see the light. You're not at the top of the mountain. That's why you don't see it. But once you get there, you're going to say, wow. And when you heal the internal, you're going to see it in your external world. Everything's going to start to flow. Not just finances, not just relationships, not just your social life, everything. There's people that have maybe a lot of money, but their relationships suck. Or maybe really good relationships, but their healthcare sucks. You want to be balanced in everything. So it's okay, well, what am I not healing? If something's off, what am I not doing? And you can ask those questions, and the universe will respond. You'll get your answer. Ask and you shall receive. Lastly, I have a gift for all of you guys. So Vlad, please pass out. Lily, help him. So as they pass out, and that way the viewers can see, I have a card, and it's pretty much I am statements that I use, and I kind of type them up in a small card so you can put it in your car. But it's pretty much I am, I am, I am. Then I added on there God/universe/spirit. I give you the option because people have PTSD with the name God, right? Because so many bad things were done in God's name. So you can choose spirit, creator, whatever you want. So I left that there. I open to love finding me and filling me on a daily basis. I allow oneness to return to my daily life and fill my heart to illuminate my mind. I am worthy. I am enough. I am fully supported and one with God. I can do all things through the God power that strengthens me. If you're going through something tough, you can say, I cast this burden of lack, doubt, and fear on the Christ within, and I go free to be love and happiness. Then on the bottom, I put I am, and I left it blank, because you can put whatever it is that you need at that moment. On the back side of the card, again, God, universe, spirit, you can choose whatever you're comfortable with. I am open and ready for you to start conspiring in my favor, to make my dreams come true. I request for a clear sign in my reality to come to me today. I am open, I am ready, thank you. And then another one. It is my divine right to be prosperous and wealthy in all aspects of my life. And then again, I did money /health /love, happiness. You can add or remove as needed. So for example, money flows endlessly in my life. I am completely blessed. And then this last one, I have to kind of explain because people might not understand it. Absolutely nothing can make me happier than I am right now. It's kind of difficult, right? Because you're like, no, that's not true. I have this, I have this, I have this. Well, it's going back to the depression and the anxiety, right? Depression's the past, anxiety is the future, happiness is now. So right now, absolutely nothing can make me happier than I am right now. And I got that from the Council of Light. There's a lady that channels the Council of Light, and they kept saying that, and I felt it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna write that on the card. So absolutely nothing can make me happier than I am right now. I am free, I am free, I am free. So you don't have to say everything that's on the card. It's whatever you feel you need. Take whatever resonates with you, leave what doesn't. There's crystal angels in each bag. Crystals help with grounding, amongst other things. Each one's a different stone. Whatever you received, that is what you were meant to receive. Ask for help. I asked the angels for help, and they've helped me tremendously. So this is more because we're still human beings, right? Even though we're spiritual beings as well. We need reminders. So if you carry that, or you have it in your pocket or wherever, you're like, oh yeah, I need to ask for help. And it doesn't have to be help with just issues. It could be help with, you know what, I'm having a hard time with this test, or I'm not having a good connection with this person, or help me with my anger, help me with my intelligence, help me with anything. It could be anything. So it's there to remind you to ask for help, because right now pretty much there's a ton of angels sitting on the sidelines, unemployed, waiting to be asked for help. They're just chilling because we don't ask for help, right? The gift that we have is free will, and we have the right to make any choices that we want. So they can't interfere. People always ask, well, where's God when this is happening? Well, ask for help. And you are also an angel in someone else's life. You can be that angel. Don't think that it's just a spiritual being, because so are you. You can be that angel for someone else. And I like to use angels because everyone believes in angels, right? If I give out a little Buddha, or if I get a, Mother Mary or something, people are gonna be like, yeah, I don't believe in that. But everyone believes in angels. So start with that and be the gift in someone else's life. So we are ready for our medicine mantra. So this medicine mantra, while they get it set up, it was channeled. It's ready to go. Okay. It's channeled by 88 light beings. Lee Harris channels them, and I love it. So if you can sing along to it, it just repeats. Open your heart. I highly recommend it. It helped me release, even though I didn't think that I needed to continue to release. So there was deep things that I still hadn't released. And just open your heart. Blessed be. That's all I got.
Thank you. Awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'll be listening to that again.
Wow. I'm gonna work if I can find it.
YouTube is probably not gonna like that.
On YouTube.
We may have to adjust things.
I forgot about that.
So maybe we can put the link on YouTube and do the message, separate it out.
About the cards.
Huh?
Cinnamon wanted to know where she could get a copy of the card that. Paula
I have no
sent.
idea.
I actually took pictures that I could post on the website. if-
Okay. Penny took some pictures of the card. So if you at home would like to have a copy of that, Penny will post that on our Facebook. Cool. Way cool. So Mr. Phil, if you want to join me up front, we'll do communion. Then we'll go celebrate birthdays. What have I done wrong? Oh, you want to do this light for me too, Phil? Thank you. Boy, I love that. That was cool. I got tears in my eyes, and yeah, it was pretty powerful. Woohoo!
Felt that down to my DNA.
Felt that down, down to your DNA. Did you get one? Did you get an angel?
I was going to.
Okay, we'll have to get you one. I don't remember what the purple stone is. Do you remember? Nope, I don't think it's amethyst.
Fluorite.
Oh, you might want to. Oh, Beth's in here. I was like, Beth's the professional.
Yeah, I'll ask Beth. Beth knows everything.
Beth knows all.
Ooh.
That one's crazy.
It It
Just
might
For
be,
you, it's perfect.
might be azurite. Might be azurite, I don't know. All right, communion. Join us in prayer if you would. Oh, you did the wrong thing first, Bill. Breaking bread. Join us in prayer, would you please? Loving Spirit of light, thank you. Thank you for bringing us into this moment. Thank you for awakening the power within. Grant us peace, grant us joy, grant us strength. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
Amen. Want mine?
That's why when I put them down, I always put them with the cracker thing up first.
Yep. No comment.
He's never done this before. How many years? 26, at least. Join us in prayer again, please, would you? Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in your love. Help us to drink in the understanding of your willingness to help us, utilizing angels and guides and whatever, and help us to be willing to ask. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
26 times 51-ish.
52.
A couple times.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Or is that comment? Okay.
You need this shirt.
Yes, she does.
Excuse me.
Are you calling me Grumpy Cat?
Just saying. I think instead of grumpy cat, it should be snarky cat.
Snarky cat? Okay. Yes. You know, Christmas is just right around the corner. So I hope all of you are getting prepared for the day, the week. If you have a family, it's never a day anymore. It's always this extended time period where I can't make this, we can't make that, and so you have this night, and then that day, and then that day, and then that day, and
And
I
then
got
some of us have a
birthdays.
birthday in the middle of it.
I was saying,
Oh, yeah.
two of our grandboys have birthdays now, along with our son. So, yeah. All is well. Thank you so much. And I hope the season is blessing you, and you are blessing the season.
Thank you, Mr. Phil. What is wrong with the lights? I guess it just takes a while for them to warm up. I think that's about it. Let's do an energy circuit for the folks online, and then we'll do our energy circle here. So rub your hands together really, 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 really fast. You're still connected to that divine source, allowing that beautiful living light of love to flow into your heart space. From your heart space to your left hand to your right hand, and from the right hand back to your heart. This connects this energetic circuit. You're connected in. And as a result of that, energy builds. Energy builds. You can feel it building between your hands. This is a small portion of what is actually being gifted to you into your physical being and into the aura around you. So acknowledge that, notice that. Know that you are blessed. Bring that into your heart space. Have a great week, and we will see you next week. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, let's circle up.